And we will continue with the next speakers, the Dr. Santosh.
Yes, I am here.
Okay. I will make you your introduction.
Hi.
You're welcome there, Dr. Santosh Shah. The Dr. Santosh Shah comes from Sani Institute of Bioscience from India. About his biography, the Dr. Santosh is a senior scientist at Sani Institute of Bioscience from India. His research includes past climate reconstruction, climate variability over the common area, droughts, floods, river flows, and true rain based on climate studies. He has conducted true rain research in India, Nepal, Bhutan, and Russia. He also works on paleovegetation and past climate reconstruction using pollen data from the Himalayas. Dr. Shah has been a dendrochronology instructor in training programs across India, Nepal, Bhutan, and China. He served as a president of the AES and Dendrochronological Association in 2019 until 2021 and is one of the founders and governing member of the Association of Quaternary Researchers. The topic that he will speak in this conference is about status of dendrochronological studies on tropical tree taxas in India. So you can start there, Professor.
Thank you. Is it I hope that my presentation is visible and I'm audible.
Yeah, we can see your presentation and we can hear you.
So first of all, I would like to thank you, Kelly, for inviting me for this talk and also for keeping me in all the organizing committees of this Ecuadorian Dendrochronological Conference. And I also like to congratulate you and the team for the first Ecuadorian Dendrochronology Conference. It's a very great initiative from your end. So my topic, the of dendrochronological studies on tropical tree taxa in India. Just now, before my talk, we have listened to different talks, which is from the far northern hemisphere, mostly deals with the conifer species and highland taxa, mountainous taxa, and those taxa are more very old and mostly from the archaeological studies and some cross-section study. But I'm going to take you all towards little bit southern region, in fact, more the tropical region, and that is India, and which is in South Asian region. So the overview of the talk is, since I am going to give you the overview of the tropical dendrochronological study, whatever has been carried out till date. So I just want to give a brief introduction about the Indian subcontinent. Indian subcontinent is nowadays gradually becoming an epicenter for paleoclimatic studies based on various proxy records. As you know, apart from trainings, there are other proxy records are available and people are working in different regions of the world to study the climate of the past. Even in the institute or the office in which I am working, that is Sani Institute of Paleosciences, which is in Lucknow, India, in the northern region of India, we also have various labs and we work in various proxy records. Even in our institute, the divisions have been established from on the basis of geological time scale. In our institute, we work from the Precambrian to Quaternary. And many people, many scientists and researchers are working in different types of proxies. We work in pollen, diatom, phytolith, and some geochemical aspect. And we have a specific quaternary division. In the quaternary division, we work in two different time frames, like early quaternary, that is mostly toward the Pleistocene, and the recent quaternary, that is Holocene. And Holocene also, we, the dendrochronologists, work in the recent time frame, that is recent 1000 years. So we have a dendrochronology lab here. So I work in dendrochronology lab, and as I said, various proxies are using in Indian subcontinent for paleoclimatic study because we have very limited instrumental climate data set. So why the India is getting importance in for this paleoclimatic study? Because India has a unique topography and it has various geological history for creating global effect on climate change. Because we have a very dynamic climate system, that is monsoon system, that is the Indian summer monsoon. So globally and regionally, climate variation have caused changes in land cover, and the recent okay. So in recent millennia, climate history has gained interest because the recent millennia, that is 1000-year history, is very much important because it can be if we have a climate history of 1000 years, that can be used to verify the climate modeling aspect also. And why we are interested in recent years, because human has impacted extremely in this climate changing scenario. Like human mostly impacted extremely significant in changing the entire scenario of the Anthropocene, where mostly the climate is changing due to human interference, like industries are establishing, we are cutting trees, so climate is changing. So this particular 1000 years is very important, and we need a climate record, because longer climate record, because the models and in fact apart from climate models, we also climate record, we also need climate models, and these are mostly based on proxy record and cover last millennium and are of higher resolution. But if you see, still there are gaps in training studies from temperate to tropical region, which I am going to show you in the further slides. So if you see the climate of India, India has a very unique climate system and mostly governed due to the influence of seasonal wind pattern. And those seasonal wind patterns are mostly called southwest monsoon system and northwest monsoon system. And these both wind system, it gives and they are associated with precipitation and temperature. We have two systems like southwest monsoon system. What happened in southwest monsoon system? The monsoon in this summer, this is also called summer monsoon, and this monsoon in summer enters in this Indian continent from the southwest direction, and this type of monsoon blows a wind from the sea to land, and this moisture carry a moisture from the Indian Ocean region, and it has also the two branches, one branch from the Arabian Sea and another from the Bay of Bengal side. And the trade winds first enter in the peninsular part of India as a southwest monsoon. And this brings mostly rain in higher rainfall during the month of June to September. And particularly we call this June to September season as a summer monsoon season. It also creates destruction because due to high rainfall, floods occur. But at the same time, this southwest monsoon system is very much important for the farmers, because India is considered as a land of agriculture, and this southwest monsoon is very important for the agricultural point of view. If the monsoon is very good, in that year we receive very good agricultural scenario. But if it is deteriorated, like if we when monsoon fails, we it's become the drought situation, and it would automatically hamper the agriculture scenario of India. Another kind of monsoon is the northwest monsoon system, and this in this northeast monsoon, the wind blow from the northeast direction, and this is also called the winter monsoon. But in this winter monsoon system, since the India is dry during that winter season, usually with the help of northeast monsoon, this region, mostly the southern part region. In fact, this particular region, that's called the Tamil Nadu system. This region receive higher amount of rainfall, and because and also the wind blow from the land to sea. So this rainfall system brings rain in this part of the region, that is mostly the Kerala, Andhra Pradesh, like Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, etc. Uh, and also during winter, this region, that is mostly the northwest part of the Himalaya, like the Kashmir, Jammu Kashmir region, then Himachal Pradesh, this also receive precipitation, but mostly in the form of snow. And this phenomena is also called the third system, that is called the that western disturbances. Due to the western disturbances, the wind blow from the Mediterranean region, and this region, mostly in the northwest Himalayan region, receive precipitation in the form of snow. But people also believe the moisture is also coming from the Arabian Sea, but mostly it is a wind system from the Mediterranean Sea. Okay. So due to this vast different climatic zone, it also altered the vegetation of India. So we have various types of vegetation or the forest types, starting from the tropical to temperate region. Mostly in this part, southern part, we have tropical system, even in the northeastern region. But in the Himalaya region, we have mostly the tropical, subtropical, subtropical, then temperate, and also the alpine, then tree line. And due to this different types of vegetation system, we have various different conifer and tropical taxa, and that can be used for the dendrochronological analysis. So if I come in something, yeah, okay. So if you see when the dendrochronological study actually started in India, in 1902, the first enumeration of growth ring producing tree taxa, worldwide range, and the forest types of India was covering from tropical to subalpine. In this person, the Gamble, he has written one book, and in that book, the basic information has been given that in which taxa the rings are very clear, in which taxa the rings are very faint, and which can be counted. Those information are given in a basic way, not in exact dendrochronological way, what we do by dendrochronology. The late 30s or early 40s, application of tree ring for short time span for the analysis of climate has been started by Chaudhary. But he also has done very basic work. He mostly extracted a few rings, like 10 years ring, from the outer portion of the trees, and started working that how the climate is influencing these rings in recent years. Then there was a gap for a long time, and during early 80s, preliminary survey and scope of dendrochronology in Indian region was established based on the systematic tree ring dating system and based on the exact year in which the rings are formed. And after that, later in 90s, there has been a progress and the rapid progress of dendrochronology in India. But if you see, in Indian region, mostly the tree ring analysis or dendrochronological work has been started in the higher Himalayan region, mostly from the western Himalayan region and eastern Himalayan region, and right from the subtropical forest, temperate, tree line, and close to glacier region, from both the western Himalayan and eastern Himalayan. From the western Himalayan region, these are the taxa which has dendrochronological potential, and all these taxa are used for the dendrochronological study. These taxa are mostly also common in Pakistan region and also in Nepal region. There are some taxa which grows in this portion, this region, but not here. And some taxa are growing in this region, but not here. Like the Cedrus deodara, which is growing in the Western Himalayan region, including Pakistan and Afghanistan, and few parts of the Western Nepal. But Cedrus deodara is not growing in the Eastern Himalayan region. Similarly, the Pinus gerardiana, this is the Chilgoza pinus. This Pinus gerardiana is also growing in the western part of the Himalaya, mostly concentrating in this some part of the Kashmir and some part of the Himachal and in Pakistan. But this taxa is not growing in anywhere in this Nepal and northeast Himalayan region. Similarly, some taxa like this Larix griffithiana, Larix, the large species, which is growing in the eastern Himalayan region and eastern part of the Nepal, is not growing in this western part of the Himalaya. Pinus mercushii and Cassia, this two in the northeast region of India and some part of like Thailand and Myanmar, but this taxa is not growing in the western part of the Himalaya. So there is a differences of some few taxa, but all these taxa has been worked for training analysis, and it produced very clear and datable rings. There are some broadleaf taxa like Betula vitalis, that is birch, and Cedrilla tuna, that is Tuna ciliata now. It is growing in some part of the Himalaya and also in the tropical region, that is Peninsular India. And these two taxa is worked for dendrochronology analysis. So I just want to mean that most of the work has been carried out in conifer taxa, and that is also from the higher Himalayan range, mostly from the temperate region. But in tropical region, very less work has been done. If you see in 1989, this paper by Bhattacharya and Yadav, they have provided some list of taxa, and they showed what type of wood anatomical character is present in these taxa and whether it is suitable for the tree ring analysis or not. And they have found ring porous taxa. These are the Lesistromia, Media, Tectona grandis. Semi-ring porous are there, Cetella tuna, that is now it's renamed as Tuna ciliata, Juglans. These then few are difference in frequency of vessels in early and late wood. These are the angels, these are the diapers. Initial parenchyma cell, based on the initial parenchyma cell, as Terminalia, Dalvigia, Alvigia. Then Terminalia, parenchyma cells with Michaelia champaca, Magnolia campbelli. These are taxa has been identified. But mostly, these two taxa, that is Tectona grandis, commonly known as teak, and the Tuna ciliata, that is the English name is tuna. These two taxa has been worked out in large scale. So now I'm going to explain how the teak, that is the work on teak, has been carried out in terms of dendrochronology. If you see the distribution of teak is widely distributed in the central and peninsular part of the India, also in Myanmar and the Laos, Thailand. This is the native distribution. But some very young trees are also growing in this Ganga plain and also in the northeast region of India. First systematic tree ring works on teak and tuna is started in 1992. The paper tells that growth rings analysis of Indian tropical trees in dendrochronological potential, and they studied 4 different taxa. Tuna, now it's called Tuna ciliata, Michaelia and Michaelia nilagirica. So they found that only these two species, Tectona grandis and Tuna ciliata, it has dendrochronological potential. It has very clear and datable ring, but these two taxa are not found suitable for the tree ring analysis. Next, the first study on teak shows summer monsoon relationship has been established later on after 6 years, and this study shows the ring with chronology of the teak. It has a very good relationship, in fact, a very close relationship with the monsoon summer precipitation, that is June, July, August, September precipitation. So it shows that mostly the teak trees is influenced by, or limiting factor is monsoon precipitation, and this can be reconstructed. But if you see in the mostly in the higher Himalayan region, most of the conifer taxa is the limiting factor is not monsoon, but it shows pre-monsoon signal. Like the many conifer species from the western Himalayan region has a positive correlation with the precipitation of the pre-monsoon season, and in some cases, and the winter temperature is also playing an important role, and it has very good positive correlation with the winter temperature. But in the tropical region, in central Himalaya, central India and peninsular India, it has been found that the teak has very good correlation with the rainfall of the summer season. If you see the advancement of training studies in teak is usually started from 2007, and mostly the work has been carried out for ringwidth, few studies on oxygen isotope, and few studies based on the mean vessel area. Most of the work has been carried out for ringwidth based. If you see the distribution of the ringwidth based teak studies, it is widely distributed in the central part of the India and this extreme south part of India. There was one study from Mizoram, from this portion, this area. I forgot to add this one. And this isotope-based study, there are only three places from where the isotope, the oxygen isotope-based teak study has been carried out. One from this this region, that is called this is Telangana, and from extreme south, that is the Kerala. There are some studies which uses mean vessel area, mostly the earlier portion, and there are three studies, two from this region, Kerala, extreme south, and one from the Karnataka. But if you see, I'm not explaining all the studies, but if you see the glimpse of the studies so far carried out on dendrochronological aspect of the teak, it has been, you can see almost all the studies are deals with the, most of the ring width, and it deals with the, or they establish only the tree growth and climate relationship. But there are 3-4 studies which deals with the, which mostly reconstructed the precipitation signal. Like this one in 27, precipitation reconstruction. These two studies, precipitation, and one study based on the moisture index, that is mostly, I think, drought. And these are studies carried out in different states or different province of the India. So this one, the first study, which is it's carried out from the central part of the India and based on the tick. This is very, I really found a very interesting work because I learned dendrochronology in this species, this site only. So this was the first sample which I have carried out tree ring analysis in my dendrochronological career, and we have published this paper in Dendrochronologia in 2007. And this in this work we have reconstructed the precipitation of June, July, August, September, that is the summer monsoon season, and we have derived it has a link with the monsoon failure. Most of the drought record, the available drought record, has been matched with the precipitation reconstruction. Only there are only 2 or 3 drought record which has not matched, but most of the drought record of India was matched with the low precipitation signal. This is another precipitation reconstruction based on the teak with the oxygen isotope. This was carried out from the extreme south, that is from the Kerala, and this precipitation was reconstructed based on the oxygen isotope data of the teak, and it goes back up to around 1745. Has a very good link with the southern peninsula Indian rainfall. This is study from the extreme south, Kerala. It is give the signal of monsoon drought of 523 years old long Ringwood record, and but in this record they have not reconstructed the precipitation. They have only shows that the lower growth is linked with the El Nino or the monsoon drought. So still it has the implication that it has established the tree growth climate relations, but directly not reconstructed the precipitation signal. But they are able to found that low growth year has linked with the ENSO or El Nino and the monsoon failure. And similar, the ENSO, the tea growth is linked with ENSO is also established from one of the record of tea from this region, that is northeast region of India, from the Mizoram. But this chronology is not very old. It is only 40 years old, but we are able to establish that it has linked with the ENSO phenomenon, mostly governed by the sea surface temperature. The section based on the precipitation, what I said in just in the starting of my talk, like India, we have two different monsoon systems, southwest monsoon and the northeast monsoon. So this is the reconstruction of northeast monsoon precipitation, that is October to November, mostly the winter precipitation based on the mean vessel area of the tea from this region. But this study, though it is reconstructed, but it is based on the very limited number of samples. But still we are able to reconstruct the precipitation, and it has valid calibration verification statistics, what we do in dendrochronology. India conserves most of the old trees in a forest area. So this is the one example that is called the Kani Mara teak. It is in a local language of the southern India. It is an old teak and it is considered as 500 years old, but it is a protected tree and we are not allowed to hold this tree. So exact year we don't know, but the people or the forest department presume that this tree is 500 years old and it is preserved as a protected tree. One oldest teak sample so far in India is kept as an old disc system, that's cross section in one of the museum of the southern India, that's Bengaluru Karnataka Museum, one of the first museum. And earlier people counted and measured this the width of this stump sample, and it was found that the chronology or started from 1153 to 1953, but this is only based on the one sample, so we can't reconstruct the climate. This is a recent work we have started because there was a gap of teak studies in India. So one student, Diksha, he is working on the teak trees from the southern Chhattisgarh region of central India, and we have collected both core sample and cross section of the teak tree, and we have prepared so far 5 chronologies. One chronology from the northern Chhattisgarh. This northern Chhattisgarh is not very old, but it is very young. But from the southern portion of the Chhattisgarh, we have recovered very old teak tree that is starting from 1784 to 2022. So it is long tree. And but if you correlate these chronologies from the northern to southern region of this particular state, we don't see much higher correlation between the northern region to southern region. But the southern region's chronology, among which within each chronology, it has very good high correlation, but it is not matching with the northern. And preliminary was very good correlation with the rainfall and the SPI and also the soil moisture. So the soil moisture correlation was high, and it is nowadays the people are also doing establishing correlation not only with the monthly temperature or precipitation, but also with the daily climate data set. So we have also established daily climate correlation with the daily climate data set, both temperature, precipitation, and SPI. And we found that soil moisture is very important, and it shows that we can reconstruct soil moisture index from this region. We also got possibility of sampling the cross section from the old tree, which is already filled in the forest area from the Kerala region, and we are able to build a very long chronology by combining both living and cross sections. And we try to correlate the chronology with all the precipitation data set from different states, from different districts. And we found these 3 districts showed very good or higher correlation. And we try to reconstruct the precipitation, but only for the one single month, that is May. This is for individual district, and this is for the entire region, the entire Kerala region, and almost so similar region. So we consider, we try to establish the spectral analysis for this precipitation, and we found it has very this high the 2 to 85 years cyclicity, which may be linked with the ENSO phenomena. Is again proved the earlier studies carried out from the Kerala and from the Northeast India. So most of the work has been carried out in teak, and if you see in the tuna, that is tuna ciliata, there are 2 studies. This one is very old study carried out in 1992, and it deals with only few samples. But this study was another study carried out in 2016, and it is from this region. And we built a chronology from the 1836 to 2002, and we showed that this tuna tree has a correlation with the winter season temperature. So winter season temperature, and it also shows the correlation with the April precipitation. Because we believe that April precipitation is also important, because initiation of cambial activity is flourished with the help of this pattern of the April month. But mostly limited by the winter season. So based on these elaborated things, we can conclude that only 2 taxa, that is Tectona grandis and tuna, that is tuna ciliata, are found most promising tropical taxa in India for dendrochronological study. And we have also seen that most of the studies are carried out in teak, and almost most of the studies, or the maximum studies of teak, they establish only the growth climate relationship. Only the few studies, like only 3 to 4 studies, which mostly use for the climate reconstruction. But other studies are mostly to establish tree growth climate relationship. There are less work on climate reconstruction based on tropical tree taxa, and the spatial extent is still sparse in the dendrochronological study on tropical tree taxa in India. Most of the tropical dendrochronological study has been carried out towards the southern part of the India. But there are some species which are growing in the Ganga plain. Even the teak is growing. Even in the northeast region of India, the teak is also there. But only 1 or 2 studies are carried out. So based on this work, we can do a recommendation, or say the future recommendation is other tropical taxa, tree taxa for dendrochronological study need to be explored. Not only these two taxa, we have to explore other tropical taxa for the dendrochronological study. And there is an urgent need to extend the spatial network of widely studied taxa, that is Tectona grandis for dendrochronology. Because we have seen this Tectona grandis is the only tropical species in this region which has very high dendrochromatic potential. The ring with parameter of teak should be utilized to study the long-term drought scenario in tropical region of India. Because most of the drought record or the drought reconstruction based on the based on the tree rings are carried out from the Himalayan region or northern region of India. But in other tropical region of India, tree ring work has been not established. So these are some future recommendation, and I would like to thank all my colleagues, mostly my PhD supervisor, Amalaba Bhattacharya, and Manna Chaudhary. These two are the person from whom I learned dendrochronology. They are my student. Uttam Pandey, Thamte, Diksha, Tanvi, they are my student and they are working. These two people already finished their PhD. These two are working. She is working on TEAC and she is Nivedita, my colleague and my wife also. And we both are working. And it's me. Thank you very much for attending this talk and patiently hearing me. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, dear Professor Santosh, with your interesting presentation. We know that the working with, for example, this species, Tectona grandis, is a great challenge because in India face a lot of great work because this species is a lot of irregular rain formations, slow growth, and environmental variability. So a nice, interesting work that you are faced with your scientific team in India. And maybe there are any participants that will make a question for our professor. Feel free for make your question, please.
Yeah, hello. Yeah,
Okay.
This is Raish. Yeah, hi Santosh, nice presentation. So I have recently. Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, so I recently started working on teak, but the problem I found with teak is like it is difficult to cross date. And then when we look at these inter-series correlations, they are really low for teak. What could be the possible reasons and what could be the suggestions to deal with this low kind of inter-series correlations in case of teak?
Basically, when you collect the sample from the tree, we have to be very careful because teak has the lobe structure. So we have to find out that particular portion from where we have to core. Because sometimes when you core, it has very wide ring we cover in some portion. So that need to be avoided. And basically, if you core multiple core, that will also help you to increase the interseries correlation.
So we had taken
not allowed to core multiple sample from the teak because these are commercial species and department don't allow us. But still,
I had some teak cores, so they had taken good samples, actually number of samples, but it is compared to the tree rings, for example, from our region's template systems, wherein we have like very high inter-series correlations. They kind of have good, strong climatic signal. It is comparatively low. What kind of like inter-series correlation is really acceptable for going ahead with the climate growth relationships or reconstructions in case of teak?
Yeah, because from my experience, is it true? It is true that we don't get higher correlation. Like we don't get even 0.5. Sometimes mostly higher correlation 0.4 within 0.5, 0.45 to 5. That up to that much you can get. But if you increase the sample, then you may achieve slightly higher correlation. So we have to maximize the replication. Replication should be high. If you increase the replication, you will obviously increase the interseries correlation, because that will give you the error will be minimized. So the best way to collect maximum sample from one particular
Thank
region.
you. Thank you so much.
That will increase the interseries correlation. Congratulations. Yeah, you are working on from temperate to tropical now. Huh?
Yeah. Yes. Small like this project that I'm working in.
Okay, good. That's good. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for this question. Maybe there are other participants that would like to make a question. Okay, very nice, and thank you so much, dear Professor, Dr.
Thank you.
Santosh. Very interesting your topic, and
one more thing I forgot to mention, that in 2027 India is organizing INQUA 2027. So it's a big conference for coordinating people. So if anybody want to join INQUA, they can apply. I am just sending you the link in the chat box so they can see the information of the conference. Thank you.
This is a good decision, and thank you so much. So we will continue with our